すごく似合ってるよ。いや、
びしょびしょ見たい？
それってまた当たっちゃってくださいよ。
大丈夫って。
ありゃ俺に惚れてるな。
ええ、よっしゃ
絶対に許さないから。好きです。好きよ。愛してる。
This is the first time in the history of me ever playing a video game that my girlfriend has actually turned around to me and said, babe, could you please get to the end of Catherine? I don't want to talk to you. I want to see what happens. Never before has my girlfriend said to me that she wants me to go and play a video game. And that is testament to how good the Catherine storyline is. Now, before you get worried, I'm not going to spoil the game for you. I'm not going to talk about any major plot lines. I'm not going to talk about anything like that because I want you to go and experience this game for yourself. So there's no spoilers in this video. I'm going to dance around them. I'm going to bring up things that I think are really good about the game, but I'm not actually going to spoil the game for anyone. Now, for the longest time, I've been putting off playing this game, and to be honest with you, I really don't know why. I'm one of those stubborn gamers that thinks they know what they want, they know exactly how they want it, but time and time again recently, I seem to be getting proven wrong, and ATLUS has done that once again. Catherine originally came back in 2011, I think, and like I said, I saw the puzzles, they looked hella annoying to me, and I just said no, there's no way I'm touching this. I don't like puzzle-based games to begin with, and the whole game is based around doing puzzles when you look at the actual gameplay aspect of it. But the more and more I kept seeing media coverage on it, and the more and more I saw my friends playing it, I was thinking to myself, did I make a mistake with this game? Have I made a mistake with Catherine? And it turns out I did. As soon as it got announced for the Nintendo Switch, I knew that this was the time. It was time for me to give up my stubborn ways, and it was time for me to give Catherine a fair shake. I'm kind of glad that I've waited up until now because, to be honest with you, I was very immature as a gamer and just very immature in like the pop culture scene, I guess. I was very much, like I said, I want things done a certain way. I like Dragon Ball Z, blah blah blah. Like I wasn't open-minded to trying other things. It was all about fighting for me. But now that I've grown up as a gamer and I've grown up in this culture, I've kind of changed the way that I look at things, and I can tell you that it's honestly, this game is so good. And apparently it's designed by the same people that do Persona, so that should really be testament to how good this game is on its own. Now, I've been playing video games for a long time, and even in my stubborn ways, I've played tons of games, tons of different genres, and I've got to say that there is nothing on the market that is quite like Catherine, both from a gameplay perspective and from a narrative perspective. Honestly, I don't know what they were on when they made this game. I don't know what kind of powerful stuff they were smoking, but whatever they were doing was something strong. And if not, then whoever put this game together, the team that put this game together, they're some of the most creative minds in the entire industry. This is by no means just another puzzle game. I mean, 100%, the gameplay is mostly puzzle based, but there's a strong element of like storytelling and decision making and this whole social side to it, which ends up shaping the main story for the entire game. Every decision you make will be a lasting one, so you have to think long and hard about what you're gonna do. So the game's centered around this guy called Vincent, who's a very likable character. He kind of separates himself from the bog standard anime heroes, and I say anime because the game is done like an anime, but he's going through his trials and tribulations. He's trying to figure out where he stands in the world. I found him to be pretty funny. I found him to be kind of a sympathetic goofball. He's kind of just stumbling through life, and he's dating this woman who, let's be honest, is just way out of his league. He's got a very likable support system in his friends. This game is centered around infidelity, and you normally have a bunch of boys that they would portray men as egging you on to do the wrong thing, but his friends actually provide some really insightful takes on how he should deal with his relationship, and none of them are like, oh, you should go and bang this girl and you should go bang that girl. They're actually really good friends. So I thought that was a nice take on his like little circle. Now they all have their own distinct personalities, and to be honest with you, it was one of my favorite parts in the game, just sitting there and talking to these guys. Now for anyone else, I don't know, I speak for myself here, but I found the conversations to be really interesting. I didn't find myself mashing the A button to get through the conversation as quickly as possible. I ended up sitting there for as long as the game would permit it, which ended up for me being a really positive point of Catherine Full Body. body. And a lot of this dialogue in a lot of other games would be throwaway stuff, it wouldn't really matter. But in this game, everything they say to you, everything that you ask them, it all sort of matters, it all sort of plays into the overall story. Now inside the bar, there's quite a few quirky characters, but most notably there's a girl named Erica, who again makes for really good conversations. There's really no wasted NPC in this game. I think maybe there were 2 characters that I didn't actually interact with because I couldn't be bothered, but other than that, everyone that you speak to has something interesting to say. You're free to explore the bar from top to bottom and speak to whoever you want, and there's even a small arcade where you can play a full-on game, like a full game is in this game, like Gameception. And I mean, I sucked at the game, I was terrible at it, but I would highly recommend. You can burn a lot of time on this game, it's quite fun. I just wasn't good at it, so I sort of left it. There's also a bathroom that you can dip into with some creepy stuff that happens in there. I won't really tell you too much about that because that kind of plays into the story, but make sure you go into the cubicle because there is a nice surprise in there for all of you perverts. So the bar is where you do the bulk of the interacting in this game, and even though you're confined to basically one area, there's enough people and enough things going on here to make it a pretty refreshing experience. And you spend a lot of time in it, like I said, and every time you go back in there, it doesn't feel like the same sort of thing. It doesn't feel like you're doing the same thing over again or having the same conversations. It's kind of like your second home in the game. But aside from that, the next portion of the game mainly takes place inside Vincent's bedroom. Now you don't actually do anything gameplay related here, you don't actually play anything here, you can sort of watch the story play out and you can make a couple of decisions from here, or at least the decisions you make in the other parts of the game will shape what happens in this portion of the game. The sections where puzzles come into it is the nightmare scenarios, and for me personally, I suck at puzzles. I don't enjoy puzzles, but I've got to say, for a game that is heavily puzzle based, they actually did a really good job of making you feel like you actually want to complete them, and that is coming from me. I hate puzzles. I don't think I can stress it enough. I do not like them in any way, shape or form. But in this game, I can kind of appreciate how they play into the narrative. How Vincent is sort of like going through these difficult puzzles in the nightmare scenario, which kind of reflect his real life. And then you got different difficulty settings for the nightmare scenario. You even have an auto mode where if you don't want to play them and you just want to experience the story, you just slap on the auto mode and you just watch Vincent go up the puzzle and you just get on with the story. So they've kind of catered to everyone here. For someone that wants easy puzzles, you've got what you want. For someone that wants hard puzzles, you've got what you want. You've even got a remix mode, which is, I think it's a new mode for people that played the original Catherine and they want a new challenge. So it's got literally, for anyone, you can find something in the puzzle area, in the nightmare scenarios. It's really good. But like I was saying, the puzzles represent, to me at least, the struggles that Vincent's going through in his day-to-day life. And the more you solve them, the more it kind of like makes sense. It will make sense when you play it. And there's actually some really creepy monster designs in this as well, so look out for those. Now the game mainly follows Vincent in his relationship with Catherine with a K. It's important to remember that. Catherine with a K. Without going into too much detail, Catherine with a K wants to move their relationship forward. She wants to get married, she wants to have a kid, blah 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 blah. At the same time, Catherine with a C shows up and she's a lot younger and a lot more, well, let's just say she's yeah. You know what, just play the game and you'll find out for yourself. So as I said before, the game focuses around infidelity. Atlus thought they'd teach you and Vincent a good lesson by sending you to the Nightmare Realm, which is where the puzzles are. And let me tell you, the Nightmare Realm is some anxiety-inducing stuff. So not only are you solving puzzles to climb your way out of the Nightmare Realm, which is like a dream state, I guess, and you're doing that by moving boxes around. Like I said before, there's some really cool monster designs and they're chasing you up the tower. So if you're like me and you suck at puzzles and you're trying to figure out something which to most people is probably going to be simple, and then you've got some undead, disfigured monster like on its way up towards you, you're going to be shitting yourself. And that's what I found myself doing a lot in this game. Not literally. And another cool thing is that these monsters, they all represent something going on in Vincent's real life, but I won't ruin that for you guys. I want you to experience it for yourselves. Now inside the Nightmare Realm, you meet other people going through similar experiences as you, trying to escape this weird place where you're asked to sort of like, they sort of test your personality and they put you through this grueling task of getting to the top. And I think they're trying to rebuild the kind of person you are, because the whole reason that you're in this nightmare scenario is because you're kind of being a scumbag in real life. But just like in the bar, inside the Nightmare Realm, there's a lot of people to speak to, and a lot of them have interesting things to say. But you know what, using the word people is wrong. I should use sheeple. And yeah, so everyone in the Nightmare Realm looks like a sheep, and so do you, except you as the player, so you sitting at home, you see Vincent as Vincent, but Vincent sees everyone else as sheep, and everyone else sees Vincent as a sheep. I know that sounds confusing, I know that's probably just throwing you off, but just play the game, you'll understand. There's a lot of symbolism in this game. It goes a long way, just trust me on that. There's also another character character who I think has been added for this game. I think she is for Catherine Full Body. I don't think she was in the original one, and her name is Rin. And let me just say that the story in this game is so good. You've got drama, you've got Ghost, you've got Vincent's guilt, you've got like all these things going on at once that they all mash together in this really well told story. I've got to like give props to ATLUS, you know. I haven't played too many ATLUS games. I'm gonna start playing their games a lot more often if this is their benchmark, because this story is so good. Like, I can't even stress how much fun it was. Just the story alone, like, forget the puzzles, because like most, like, I don't know if people are like me, I don't like puzzles, but forget the puzzles, just the story alone is worth the price point. I would pay full price for this game every time. If they release another Catherine game, I'll pay full price for it, even though I don't like puzzles. That's how good the story is. But the puzzles in the game are so interesting because they intertwine with the story. I didn't actually mind doing them. So this is coming from me, probably someone that hates puzzles the most. Buy this game 100%. Now, between the dramas of his real life, the vague memories of his dreams, a murder mystery, there's always something going on in the game. Now, I've never seen a part anime, part visual novel, part puzzle game before, but it was so well done. It's so worth it in the end. It took me about 8 hours to finish the game in total. I loved it, my girlfriend loved it, my friends loved it. Like, I've spoken to so many people about it. I've actually got people buying the game now. Also, I gotta say, like, hats off to whoever put the music together. That shit is such a jam. I need to get that stuff on my phone. The soundtrack is really cool, especially in the bar and the final stages. Also, can I just say that Norio Wakamoto is in this game. I'm not gonna say what character they are, but Norio Wakamoto is the voice of one of the characters in this game. If you don't know who that is, he voiced Cell and M. Bison. So Cell from Dragon Ball Z and M. Bison from Street Fighter. You know that this guy is just legendary in the anime scene and the video game scene. His voice acting work is so good, so props to ATLUS for getting him in the game. Now, if you've been putting off playing this game for 9 odd years like I have, now is the time. The game looks gorgeous, the anime cutscenes are really well animated, and the puzzles respect the player's intelligence. There's no part of this game that feels like a drag or becomes boring. Like I said, if you're not on your phone messing around, texting people, talking to your friends, getting advice from Erica, talking to yourself in the bathroom, interacting with random NPCs, or regretting the decision you've just made, because you're going to do that a lot, you'll be in the nightmare realm solving out the most ridiculous puzzles, and it all just comes together so well. You're never really bored in this game, at least I wasn't. Now, I don't usually advocate for games on this channel. This is mostly a news channel. I only really talk about controversial news. Only other time that I've ever done it is for Yakuza, and the second time is for Catherine Full Body. You owe it to yourself to play this game. Take it from me. Buy this game. Get on the Nintendo Switch. I think Catherine Full Body is like the definitive version now, so if you want the big expansive story, if you want the remix mode, if you want all the new options, go for this option. Also, like I said, do not forget the glasses in the toilets, they'll come in handy. But thanks so much for watching, guys. I really enjoyed the game. I enjoyed making this quick review, this overview of the game. If you do pick it up one day, let me know in the comment section below what you think of the game. We can discuss our different paths that we took to get to the end. But as always, guys, take good care of yourselves. Thanks for watching, and peace.